evening, everyone. We welcome you to this webinar where we are hosting two esteemed panelists from the University of Akron's College of Business. We have Professor Sucharita Ghosh. She's the Chair and Professor of the Department of Economics at the University of Akron. And we have Daniel Stone, the Associate Director of Graduate Programs. Today, we'll mostly focus on the STEM M.S. in Economics program, and we'll understand how the program will help you grow in the future and help you be in the US at the University of Akron. So over to you.
Again, my name is Dan Stone. I'm our Associate Director for Graduate Programs and Recruiting here in the College of Business. Kind of to start off, kind of give you an idea of the format that we're looking at for today. I'm going to start, I'll give you a little bit of background about the area where Akron is located in the US, tell you a little bit about the college. Then I'll turn it over to Dr. Ghosh, where she'll give you more information about the program specifics. And then I'll come back and talk a little bit about the application process at the end. So to start with, just a little bit about the University of Akron College of Business. We've been teaching business classes here since 1916. So we're not new to the concept of business classes. We've actually been established as a professional college as part of the University of Akron since 1953, and we received our AACSB accreditation in 1965. So we've been around teaching business classes for quite a while. We also have a lot of accolades and accreditation. The AACSB accreditation, for example, we are accredited not only as a College of Business, but also our School of Accountancy is separately accredited. That puts us in the top 1.15% of business schools in the world that have that accreditation. Again, definitely one of those things that we're very proud of. We're also have been ranked U.S. News and World Reports as having one of the best MBA programs in Northeast Ohio. We've been ranked by the Princeton Review as a best business school every year since 2005. Bloomberg Business Week has ranked us in the top 50 business schools, public business schools in the US. We also have a Tier 1 accreditation from CEO magazine. So we're just trying to put out there, you don't have to take our word for it. There was lots of organizations that have looked at our programs and marked and graded us very highly. So kind of next, one of the other things that we feel is obviously really important as a business school is our business connections. And there are, within the greater Akron area, we have the headquarters of Goodyear Tire and Rubber, FedEx Custom Critical, the J.M. Smucker Company, Signet Jewelers, as well as lots of other Fortune 500 companies, and that's just within the Akron area. Then very close distance, we're also, not too far from Cleveland, Ohio, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Columbus, Ohio, Detroit. So there's lots of opportunities and lots of, very, very large companies that we were able to work with. We also have a really strong connection to the community. We have over 33,000 alumni within our business networks, and over 1,000 of those are in C-suite positions. So we definitely have a very strong, reputation of building leaders within the business community. We also have 13 different advisory boards with over 270 executives that sit on those, making sure that our curriculum is staying current with what's really demanded by the business world. Plus, as I'm sure Dr. Ghosh will tell you more, our faculty have really strong ties with the region as well as national businesses. So, we may be considered kind of a regional institution, but we have a international global reach with our alumni and our interactions with our faculty. So just to kind of give you a little bit of idea about where Akron, Ohio really is, here's kind of a little corner of a map of the northeastern part of the U.S. You can see where we're located. It's called the Great Lakes region, located pretty centrally there to a lot of our major cities. Easy flights. We have our own Akron-Canton Airport within 6 minutes from the university. You can get to Cleveland Hopkins Airport in under an hour. That's probably the easiest international airport to get in and out of. But there's also, like, if you're Columbus, Ohio is less than 2 hours away. That's our state capital. Under 6.5 hours to New York City. Under 5.5 to Chicago. To get to some of those larger cities, Washington, D.C. is just over 5 hours away. So definitely lots of things going on. But here within Akron and the surrounding communities, we have lots of things to do. We're a very diverse campus. We do have a fair amount of international students that mix in. So you definitely would not be standing out alone. But we do lots of activities that we really like to integrate our students internationally, domestically, and as well as from different programs. So there's lots of things to do as well off campus. We have, there's a big concert venue not too far away, the Blossom Music Center. If you are a downhill skier, again, within 30 minutes, we have two different ski slopes. And there's if you're more of a beach person, just head up to Cleveland. The beaches on Lake Erie, again, are probably only about 45 minutes away. So lots of different, we have a national park. So if you want to go hiking, we could see waterfalls, all sorts of things like that. If you're into sports, Cleveland, again, not that far away, and Columbus both have various professional sports teams, so you get opportunities for that as well. So a little bit outside the academics, but definitely things that we've got going on. A strong arts community as well. With that, I will turn it over to Dr. Ghosh and let her tell you a little bit about our Master's of Science in Economics.
Thank you, Dan. Good morning for me, but good evening for all of you. So let me just give you a little bit about myself. I'm Dr. Sucharita Ghosh, and I am originally from India. I grew up in Bombay. I think I'm aging myself. I should say Mumbai. But I went to my school, college, and came here to the States to do my PhD in economics. I actually did my master's and then my PhD in economics, and then I continued to remain in academia. I still travel a lot. I go to India at least once every year, and I shuttle between either Mumbai, Calcutta, or Delhi. So if any of you, plan to come over here, know that I understand your background and where you're coming from, because I have gone through it myself, and I have taken the journey that a lot of you are trying to do in the future. So let me give you an overall snapshot of what our Master of Science in Economics, or MSc degree is, and then we can go into a few details. I have a few slides which I'll share with you. So this is a cohort-based program. What do I mean by that? What I mean is the incoming class would begin in the fall semester, and the entire group will go through the program together. You will complete it in one academic year, which means you would start in August of a year and finish by the summer of the next year. So if you started, for example, in August of 2025, this year, you would graduate with an MSc degree by July of 2026. It is a federal STEM degree, and all of you are aware that the STEM degree gives you additional years on OPT once you get this degree. Dan, correct me, but I think it's an additional 2 years, so you get a total of 3 years.
Yep, correct? That's correct.
Yeah. This is a 1 year, very career-focused degree, which is going to look at applied economics and how to use data analytics using the economic quantitative tools. And I'll talk about a little bit more on this later. You will be doing hands-on work, and you will be doing, this is really good when you go out in the workforce, because you are trained to kind of think in a way that is taught to you in the graduate program. So when you go out into the workforce, you're not doing it for the first time for your boss, for example. We do use pretty state-of-the-art statistical and mathematical applications. We use SAS, Python, Excel, R, and Tableau. So this will just be built into the program. So while you're doing the classes, you will automatically learn all of this. And some of you might come with this background already, but some of you may not have this background. So it's a good way for you to learn this computer skills. And we pick these skills, these programs, because this is what employers out there want. So while Python and SAS can be proprietary, R is not. It's an open source software. So anyone who learns how to do coding in R for statistical use can use it in any company they go and join. So just to give you the study plan, a broad overview of what you're looking at, you are essentially taking 4 classes in the fall semester and 4 classes in the spring semester. Each class is 3 credits. So you would do 12 credits in the fall, 12 credits in the spring, and you have to do 6 credits in the summer semester. So you have a choice of 4 classes and you would pick any 2 to do. During the fall and spring, since it is a cohort system, there isn't any choice. These are the 4 classes you will take in the fall and in the spring, and then you choose in the summer. Oh, I made a typo there. The last row should be summer semester and not spring semester. Okay, so just to give you a sense of what is going on over here with these classes, Framework of Economic Analysis is a class which is like a bridge up class, right? So people who are coming in and you have not taken economics for a while, this class will give you a quick overview of everything you need to understand about economics using calculus. Then applied econometrics is the quantitative class. This class is taught in the computer lab. This is where you will be doing your programming, your learning, and how to apply things to do predictive analysis. The economics elective will vary every semester. It can be sometimes on health economics. It could be on urban economics. It could be on economics of development. And then, of course, you have the economic forecasting class. This is also a quantitative class, which will teach you how to do forecasting using R. So this gives you a snapshot. And in the summer, you can see that there is a class called Econ 695, Graduate Internship in Economics. So if you happen to get an internship in the summer, you can actually apply that for credits, and you don't have, that would be your class essentially. So you could be working as an intern and get graduate credit for that class. All the classes we're offering in the summer semester where you're choosing to are 100% online. So this way, if you happen to have an internship, you can still take that last class you need to graduate in time. But all the other classes during fall and the spring semester are in person with the professor standing in front of you and lecturing to you. When you're thinking of, I'm coming to this program, what will the teaching methodology be? You are going to get hands-on experience in the classroom. Like I said, all the quantitative classes are actually taught in a computer lab. So you're not sitting in a classroom and staring at a chalkboard or a whiteboard. You are actually sitting in the lab in front of a monitor, and you are working with the faculty member to understand how to apply the concepts, how to download the data, how to clean the data, how to apply the packaging. These are all in-person classes. You will get to know your cohort sitting around you. It actually bonds all of you together to be in a class together, going through all the classes. And this is part of your networking also, because when all of you graduate and go out in the real world, these are your connections that you are making in the classroom. You just don't know where each of you will land up, but you are bonding during this cohort style program. And like I said already, we have a graduate internship in the summer. So if you apply and you happen to get that, you can still continue with your degree program. Our faculty are young in economics. We have everyone who have got their PhD in economics within the last 5 years. So they do have state-of-the-art techniques because they're all fresh out of graduate school with their program. They're really, really good teachers, and I think all of you will enjoy having these classes with them during this program. So your academic journey will essentially be 3 semesters. You would start in August. You would probably come 2 weeks before. There will be orientation for you. You will jump into your 4 classes that you will take in the MSc degree program. Typically in December, you will have a break when the university closes for 3 weeks. The spring semester starts in January. You will take 4 more classes in the January from January up to May. Typically in every US university in March, you have a spring break for 1 week. That kind of gives you a chance to go and visit some places and explore some places. And then once you wrap up the spring semester in May, we would roll into the summer semester. So in 3 semesters, you would earn your MSc degree. So in terms of career outlook, right? The question is, why should I do a MSc degree? You know, what is the point of doing this? So there are lots of master's degrees you can do, but I am not doing these lists. These are lists that are created by independent agencies. So US News and World Report just recently, last year, ranked 45 graduate degrees, and economics was one of them that results in a salary that's more than $100,000. Indeed.com, which is one of the platforms you use when you're hunting for jobs, in 2023 basically said that economics, getting a master's in economics is one of the 10 best master's degrees for the future. And I'll explain a little bit why, in some sense. The United States Bureau of Labor Statistics is the agency that kind of looks at all the job occupations in the United States. And they are basically saying for economists, there's faster than average job outlook for the period 22 to 2032. Median pay for 2023 is about $115,000, which amounts to $55 per hour. That's kind of what you're looking at as the pay. So that kind of gives you a sense of that this degree is futuristic and is a degree that employers are looking for. So what will you get out of this program? So I've just hit like 7 items. You will learn, of course, to develop your critical thinking skills. This is really important because employers want independent thinking. They don't want to be telling you what to do. They want you to be able to do this on your own. You will learn how to acquire data, clean data, use data for your models. You will be able to learn how to analyze data. So a lot of statistical, sophisticated techniques. You will have to do a lot of writing. So you will learn how to do some writing and reporting for your job whenever you go out there. The big thing with economists is that we know how to set up a model, run a model, and most importantly, be able to explain to management, why you should do what you should do. So that's kind of the training that you get in an MSc program, which allows you to, and I can talk for this in person, that typically an MSc person will go up their career trajectory much faster than most other fields do for precisely this reason, that you are taught to do some of this critical thinking, which a lot of other degrees may not be able to give you. And then, of course, you're going to be competent in learning how to do Python, SAS, or Excel, and some of those other programs we talked about earlier. The first thing we all ask, right? What are our career prospects? Why should I do this? So, no matter what your background is, even if you've already got a degree program under your belt, doing a master's in science can give you a few advantages. You will actually broaden whatever your training is right now with new skills. And the beauty of this program is when you do an MSc degree, you are not constrained only to the private sector. Your skills are transferable to the public sector. So you can go into government, you can go into finance, you can go into anything that requires data analytics, essentially. Because you are going to develop quantitative skills and analytic skills that everyone wants. When we talk about economics, we talk about a way to make decisions. And that's what you're learning how to do. What is the scientific way and the quantitative way to make a decision? And that applies whether you're in government or whether you are in the corporate sector. You will learn how to work with large data sets, how to analyze that, how to work with, and in today's world, everything is about data. So while you're getting an MC degree and you're saying, well, I won't go into economics, but alumni from this program will find jobs which are in data science, market research, or policy analysis, because every field is looking for students who can do analytics, quantitative skills, and have technical skills, which comes from your software use. So it's a very versatile degree. You're not pigeonholed into one degree or the other. And if some of you have aspirations of doing a PhD program in economics, this is a great segue into a PhD program. That's kind of what I did. I did my master's in economics because the transition to go from undergraduate in India straight to a PhD program is really difficult. So this is another pathway. You come here, you do 1 year, and everyone who does an MSc and goes to a PhD does really well.
So I guess next, I just want to kind of tell you a little bit about some of the things that we have this outside of the actual academic program to help you develop professionally. So as part of the College of Business, you're going to have access to two dedicated business career professionals or experts that work with our students. They do a wide variety of things because, well, especially making that transition, from to a different country. There's going to be little changes within, about applying for jobs or how should I set my resume up, things like that. I just a side note, I kind of had a similar experience. I actually did my master's in the UK. So kind of went out and kind of had to deal a little bit with some of the, the US and the UK are very similar. There's a lot of differences as well. And so those little nuances can go a long way. And these career experts can help you along that track. So they do things like they can set up mock interviews so you can kind of get used to the style that interviews are done over here. We have lots of career fairs and they can help you as far as, what you should have ready, how you should dress. Lots of different career exploration panels, so networking events. We do have a mentoring program. They often set up visits to various companies. So even if you're not sure, if it's a company that you may be interested in working for, it gives you that opportunity to go out there and just explore what's there. And even if they're not a good fit for you, you can learn as much from that as you can finding, a company that you've always wanted to work for. So just picking up little things like that. They also kind of will do career assessments with you. So trying to help figure out exactly what you're, what you're looking for within your career. They'll review your resume. They also bring in guest speakers. And I know that besides just our career center, I know the departments do that as well. We also have a leadership development program as part of our leadership institute that's affiliated with our career center. So lots of great opportunities for you outside of the academic programs. So one of the big things we like to talk about is kind of what makes the University of Akron College of Business different. And so some of the things that we pride ourselves on are we do try to keep a smaller class size, especially with a program like this. It's a cohort, so you're going to be with that same group of students. The first cohort we have here coming up for the fall, probably going to range somewhere between 10 to 20 students. So you're really going to get a chance to interact with the other students in the program, but also interact really closely with your faculty. So definitely something. So in that ability to reach out to the faculty, as Dr. Ghosh mentioned, a lot of our faculty are newer to the field, so they're going to have a lot of that cutting edge knowledge that they just brought out of their own PhD programs, and they're able to share that with you, building connections and networks. So it's a really great time to join into this program. We also have a very strong value obviously within the academics themselves, as I just mentioned, our faculty are right there on the edge of the latest trends. But then, faculty like Dr. Ghosh that have been with us longer, they obviously have great connections with industry as well. So it's not just our faculty aren't just good out in, academics, but they're also able to incorporate that, that real world life experience, business experience in it as well. So you kind of take all of that in, and that in itself, I feel is a great value. But also the other thing, and this is the question is, okay, well, what's this going to cost me? So the way that our tuition is structured is the MSc program, like Dr. Ghosh mentions, 30 credits. It is for the total cost for tuition and academic fees for those full 30 credits for an international student is $27,172.50 currently. So that breaks down to about $902 per credit hour. So you're not going to find a lot of Masters of Science and Economics programs that you can join that are going to fall into that category and give you the quality of education that we're able to offer you here at the University of Akron. So if we've sold you on the program and you want to know what your next steps are, the next steps to apply to the program is pretty straightforward. You can go to our admissions.uakron.edu/apply, and it'll bring you up to our online application. You'll just select the create your application portal link, and you'll click this first time user link right there. You'll fill out the information. I'll tell you in a second here what exactly you need to go with this. But our goal from the time that you've submitted all of your documentation, our goal is to get you a decision within 3 to 5 business days. So we really strive to make sure it's like you get your application, we'll get you that answer right away, whether you're going to be a good fit for the program. So here are those application requirements. University of Akron, the online application, which is what I just showed you there. We don't have an application fee, so it doesn't cost you to apply to the program. We ask that you submit a statement of purpose and a copy of your resume or CV. You'll be asked to submit two contacts for recommendations, and that can be done right through the application portal. You'll just put their contact information, and it will kind of send them a form, or they're able to upload a letter, whatever's easiest for your recommender. We then ask that you submit your transcripts or NACCE's evaluated transcripts. So this is the one thing that we do get some questions about. So we do require that all your transcripts be evaluated by one of the NACCE's members. We don't care which company you use as long as they're affiliated with them. Some of the more common ones are WES, Bantran, which I think is now called the TEC, the evaluation company, ECE, but there's about 30 different choices that you can use. So whichever one you're more comfortable, but we can, we do have some links on our website as well if you're looking, not sure what company to use. We are looking for a minimum 2.75 GPA on a 4-point scale. Is they can, whatever scale your documents were in, they're able to convert that over. They also just make sure that your degree is equivalent to a U.S. 4-year bachelor's degree. So that is required for all students. However, one of the things that we know that does cost some extra money. So currently the university is actually offering a $300 scholarship your first semester that will be credited toward your account that will basically offset the cost of those fees. One of the big things with this program that we want to make sure students must have had at the undergraduate or graduate level economics courses, calculus, and statistics courses. It's not a program where you're going to be able to be successful without that background. Also for our international, all international applicants whose native language is not English, we do require either the TOEFL or IELTS tests, or we do accept the Duolingo test. Or also, if your degree was taught in a completely in English, we can also accept a letter from your school stating that your degree was taught in English, and that can give you the waiver for that English proficiency as well. One of the big pluses of all of our programs in the College of Business is that we are no longer requiring the GMAT or GRE, so it can take a little bit of pressure off that. But that means we're going to put a little bit more emphasis on your transcripts as well as your statement of purpose and those recommendations. Then the last big thing is the deadline for fall applications is June 15th officially. However, the earlier you can apply, the better. Visa processes, probably the last year or so, have been taking a little bit longer. So, 6 months before the program starts is probably ideal. Like I said, we'll do our best to get your admission processed as soon as we can get all of those documentations in. Within 5 days, we should be able to let you know, and then that can start working on that immigration process. So I'd really like to thank you all for giving us the opportunity to speak with you today. If you have any specific questions, especially from the application side or in any of the process in general, feel free to reach out to me specifically. My email is dstone2@uakron.edu. You can also go to our website, uakron.edu/business/graduate. And then there's links to the MSc program as well as all the other programs that we have to offer. And I'm sure Dr. Ghosh would be more than happy to speak with you about the specifics of the program as well. And there's her contact information as well. But thank you.
Thank you so much. That was a great session. For all the attendees, if you have any questions, you can drop it in the Q&A section. And until then, since our counselors are very used to interacting with the candidates, we have a few frequently asked questions that I want to address here. So I think they cater to everyone who's not present. Firstly, I wanted to know if there are any resources, organizations, or clubs that cater to international students to adjust to the life in the US and at Akron.
Yeah, so I can answer to that. So at the university itself, there is an Indian Student Association. So they are the ones who celebrate Diwali. They do do Holi. They organize all of those things. In fact, there is also a group that is just starting a new club, because at the university, if you want to start a new club, you can. And they came to me, and I'm actually the faculty advisor for this new club. They're trying to start it in fall 25. So I think there is a very active Indian group. So at the university level, that's available. If you went a little outside the university and you looked at the greater Akron area, there is a community organization called ICAGA. Don't ask me what it stands for. We just know it as ICAGA. But that is made up of the Indian community in the Akron-Cleveland area. They also have their celebrations of Diwali and, some of these Indian festivals that we have. And if you are very specific, you will even have Indian groups which are for Bengalis, for Kannadas, for Gujarati. So you can, go even deeper to find people who are maybe closer to you. But, again, beyond these clubs, I think the beauty of coming to a university in the United States is that you get to meet students from all over the world, right? And so by coming here and talking to, someone who's come from Africa, someone who's come from Europe, someone who's come from Asia, East Asia, I think that's also the beauty of coming to the United States, that you can be at a University of Akron, but yet make all these global connections.
And then one other one, just to add, in the College of Business itself, we also have our Institute for Global Studies as well. So again, little bit more of the business slant to it as well.
All right. Our next question was, since this year we saw an unusually higher amount of visa rejections, how many deferments do you allow for a candidate who has already paid their deposit and like are planning to go for that program? So
well, let me say the two things to that. One, we don't actually require a deposit, so so you don't have to worry about that until. But you're actually allowed to defer up to 1 year from your original admissions without having to reapply.
Okay, all right. Our next question was, if there are any job fairs or opportunities for candidates specific to economics that the department holds or the College of Business holds?
So we don't have specific career fairs for just economics, but we do have career fairs that are run by the university where students can go, and it applies for all the College of Business graduate students. So you get an opportunity to be in a big room and go with your resume, talk one-on-one with people. But like Dan talked about earlier, we have our own in-house career professional development office, and they are fabulous in trying to make some of these connections. And a lot of them are connections that you have already established in the College of Business. So, and then of course, the drive of the student matters a lot
for sure.
to, find a position. So, but there are opportunities in place.
Yeah, and actually,
Dan, you might want to add.
Just this week, we actually had a career fair for students that are looking at graduating this semester. So they'll have several of them throughout each semester. So lots of opportunities.
That's great. Our next question was, if there are any opportunity for candidates to work as a research assistant or teaching assistantship opportunities available with the professors?
So currently we don't have any research positions, but as a college, we do have a select number of their half-time teaching assistantship positions. Those typically, and this is another reason to apply early, the application, it's a separate application. After you've applied, you actually can apply for these before you have gotten your decision on the program, but you have to have applied first. But you're able to essentially, they're half-time positions, so you would work about 10 hours a week, and working with the professors for their undergraduate classes, maybe things like helping to grade papers or setting up study sessions, working out, whatever assistance the professors may need for a given class. And then in return, those students receive 4.5 hours of tuition remission per semester, and a stipend of currently $4,000 per semester, which is paid out kind of every 2 weeks for those 10 hours of work. And then that's eligible for the fall and the spring semester. So that doesn't cover the summer.
Right. Thank you so much for that. Apart from academics, if a candidate had to ask you how to prepare to fully, enjoy their time at Akron, what would be your tips, like top 3 tips?
So I guess the first thing I would say is just to go out and don't stay in your dorm room or your apartment. Get out and experience the area. The more things you can do, see, the better. I know when I did my master's degree abroad, it was like it's like, okay, I was in class, I had my work time scheduled, but then like weekends or when we were off on breaks, is like I was scheduling trips to other areas, nearby or further away, just depending on. So definitely take advantage of that cultural difference, because that's something it's gonna, make you, a more experienced person, help you kind of be more diverse, but also that helps transition to your work life as well if you've got those different experiences. So that's one thing I would definitely recommend.
Yeah, for sure. They need to put themselves out there to experience the whole, community and understand how it is. So, Professor Ghosh, if you have.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I also want to say, because again, when you're sitting there, you have no idea of what the Akron-Cleveland, Ohio area is like. So let me use myself as an example. When I first came over here to join the University of Akron, I said, oh, I'll just be here for 2 or 3 years, and then I'm going to move from here. Well, 30 years later, I am still here because it is a beautiful area. It has, we have a national forest within like 2 miles. You have, if you go up to Cleveland, it's a big city. It's, you have everything that a big city has in a small town setting. So, if you're into basketball, you have professional basketball. I think everyone knows about LeBron James. He was born in Akron. If you are into American football, not soccer, we have that. But for all of us in India and the rest of the world, when we say football, the University of Akron actually has one of the top tier soccer teams in the country. So there are some great matches you can go for. So there's athletics in the university that you can go for. You can go outside. If you like music, dance, we have a E.J. Thomas Performing Arts Theater right on campus. So even if you don't have a car, you can walk there, right? But there are also electric bikes you can just take and go around town. We have a beautiful library and art museum. So it's a really nice area to be in, because if you don't have a visual on it, you're thinking, oh, I don't know about this place. And like Dan said, in half an hour, I'm in Cleveland Airport and I can go anywhere in the world. In fact, I just came back on Monday from Dubai. So I went there for 4 days. I came back over there. And, it's easy. A lot of campus towns, very often, and I know this because I was in one of those towns, you have to drive 2.5 hours to get to the closest large airport, right? So this is a big advantage we have in this area, that within 30-35 minutes, I can catch my flight out from Cleveland Airport. So anyone who comes here, I'll follow up on Dan. You embrace the area. There is a lot to do. I think it will be a really good, fulfilling experience.
Well, that's a very beautiful note to end this webinar, because we've covered academics, we've covered how placements work, and we've also covered how wonderful their lives will be at Akron if they put themselves out there. So thank you so much, Daniel and Dr. Sucharita. It has been a very insightful session, and I'm so glad you could make this time for our candidates. I hope we have a very strong pipeline for this fall. Thank you. Good night.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your support.